wait outside. I'm sorry. We have a couple of other matters we need to address. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, then, if you would like to just go to 1504 and 1506, which are the related complaints. There's no one here on behalf of those individuals, as far as I know. 1504 would be the allegation against Mr. Trump for failing to register as a lobbyist while he was having a discussion with the mayor while on the golf course. I think we've done a pretty good investigation here as to what happened on the golf course, and I think we have a situation where a couple of guys are playing golf and talking about a whole lot of things, and the mayor said at some point they were talking about the possibility of maybe having a movie studio down here, and Trump likes to invest down here. He's got a lot of other properties down
You
here.
interviewed the mayor?
Yeah.
And this is what he said.
I'm sorry?
He said they were talking about a movie studio?
Yes. And
But didn't the other thing say that the mayor, did I read it wrong, that the mayor and Trump had a contentious conversation?
according to Mr. Russo, that's what happened, that Trump basically said to the mayor, like, you know, what are you doing here? You got this nice location and it looks like crap. And I mean, I could make it better. So
That was the nature of the contentious conversation. That was all.
That was kind of it.
Okay.
And Trump,
That sounds like Trump.
I'm sorry.
Trump's son is his lobbyist.
I'm sorry.
No,
Trump, the
Jimenez's
mayor's son. I'm
Jimenez's
sorry, the
son.
mayor's
Yes.
son, not Trump's.
Right. Which is why early in the process, actually, Mayor Jimenez recused himself from the entire process and said, "I'm not going to get involved with this because my son works for Mr. Trump." In any
Guys on
event,
the golf course, having conversation. Two guys.
two guys on the
Mayor
golf
and
course.
Mr. Trump
Yes.
on Key Biscayne.
Yes. And
Okay.
what happens, Mr.
Palm
Trump...
Beach?
Wasn't it in Palm Beach?
No, it's
Brandon.
Brandon. They're on the golf course that.
They played
Playing golf.
Trump on some location in Palm Beach.
Okay.
Oh, that was prior to that. But in any event, so there is a conversation at some point about, you know, I can make this better. What do I have to do to make it better? Let me just buy it. And the mayor tells him, well, you can't just buy it. And what you have to do is, at some point in time, when they finish the golf game, the mayor comes back and tells his people here in the county, you know, look, send a letter to Mr. Trump telling him what he could possibly do if he wants to manage the property. He gets together Jack Cardis, Michael Spring, a couple other people from the county, takes them a month or 3 months to draft a letter that goes to Mr. Trump that says, look, here's section, whatever the section is of Florida statutes that talks about unsolicited proposals.
Can I interrupt you there? So the mayor recused himself
Right, he said, I'm
right
not,
away,
I'm
once
not
he
going to...
recognizes, hey, there could be a conflict.
Yeah, he said, I'm not going to get involved with this. He assigned it to other people to say,
Okay,
hey,
because I know that there's
you
another
guys
complaint
respond to
coming
Trump.
up against the mayor, right? On the
Yes.
same issue. So just trying to get all the facts so we don't need to repeat it on the next one.
Right.
Okay, at what point did the mayor recuse himself? Right after the golf?
It was soon after. I mean, this whole from the time they played the golf game until the time anything really happened, you're talking about 6, 7, 8 months that go by before the letter is sent from the county to Mr. Trump saying, look, if you want to give us an unsolicited proposal, this is the process that you have to follow.
You have to pay $25,000.
You have to send us a check for $25,000. You have to do all this stuff, which Mr. Trump in the end did. He sent a check and he sent a proposal. The county gets it and they start to evaluate it. And then, if they think it's a good idea, what they would do is actually put out an RFP. And they would say, okay, you gave us a good idea, and if you want to compete for it, you could compete for it.
For sake of the other complaint that was filed against the mayor, when did the mayor recuse himself?
I don't know that I can tell you the exact date, but I know it was early in the process. It was...
Well,
Yes.
you said there were 6, 7 months, and then
Yeah,
the county
I'm
sent
saying
this
that
letter.
here,
So
on March
you're saying between
March
that-
5th of 2014, Mr. Trump sent the mayor a follow-up letter on his proposal and said, let me know what the next steps are that we need to take to move this process forward. That was in March of 2014.
Let's just take it one at a time, because obviously I don't, I hate to use this word, I don't want to trump you. I really did want to use that, but
I mean, actually, the issue of his son
let's go with Mr. Trump's
the issue of the mayor's son being a lobbyist is not really an issue in this case. That's
I find
not
that
an
so
issue.
odd.
Yeah.
How that's, okay.
That's not really what any of the allegations are. The allegation in this particular case against Donald Trump is that he didn't register as a lobbyist, okay?
Okay, and your conclusion is obviously no
The
probable cause
conclusion
to
is
lie.
he wasn't a lobbyist. And we covered this in the David Beckham case, when Mr. Beckham met with some county commissioners and met with the mayor initially to discuss his proposal of having a soccer stadium here in Miami-Dade County. We concluded in that case that there's a certain, for lack of a better term, meet and greet period where you can generally discuss ideas where you're not considering, there's nothing concrete in the pipeline, there's nothing to be voted on, there's nothing for them to do. In this particular case, when they were having a conversation on the golf course, there was no action for Jimenez to take or any decision or recommendation for him to do. I mean, all he said was, I have an idea, and he said, okay, fine, I'll tell you how to put that into motion. We can get that into the pipeline, and at some point in time, maybe it'll become something specific or some particular solicitation that, again, might be considered by the county commission, so that some future time, if you want to lobby people about it, you can lobby us about it. This is consistent with, again, what we found in the Beckham case, in an INQ 1275, where we said that the president of Cisco's globalization division could meet with the mayor to discuss in general terms Cisco's activities, because there was no issues related to those activities currently pending in the county. It's like INQ 1197 that talked about a biomedical device manufacturer. He didn't have to register as a lobbyist to speak with a Jackson physician concerning a product sample. And then just going through what this commission has generally discovered as lobbying activities, meetings or communications with elected officials to discuss a particular solicitation or a product. Or there was really nothing concrete at this time that was could qualify as a particular solicitation or a product.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Was there, other than this initial, and let's call it meet and greet, because in your opinion it's a meet and greet, and Mr. Crespo's letter, he says it shouldn't be considered a meet and greet because
Yes.
well known that Trump is in his view, a consultant under Section 2-11.1S 1B. What other, if any, communications were had between the mayor and Mr. Trump on this issue besides the initial meet and greet? Anything that you discovered in your
Not
investigation?
many. I think I could look at what the mayor told us. So, March 5th, 2014, Trump sends a letter to Jimenez. Jimenez then delegates the response to the letter to Jack Cardis, the Parks Director. So Jimenez doesn't even respond to that personally. And I think the mayor told us he had one conversation with him further on at the opening of the Blue Monster Golf Course. I guess that's the one in Doral, and that was in February of 2014.
So that was before the March 15, 2014
Yeah, that's...
referral to Jack
that was
Cardis,
after they- but it was
Jack
after they
Cardis,
had-
who is the head of parks for the county, correct?
Yes, sir. But the Blue Monster, remember, the golf course conversation took place in 2013.
Understood.
So-
But then there's a February meeting in 2014 at the Blue Monster in Doral, which is owned by Trump.
Yes.
And why wouldn't that be considered lobby?
There's no indications that they talked about the Crandon deal.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Talked about other stuff.
Oh, that's just a meeting.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay. Okay. I thought it was in there because there was something more
And
substantive.
there's no indication that that his son
By that
and his son and Jimenez ever talked about this ever?
That Jimenez and,
And his son ever talked about this?
Oh, I don't know. As far as I know, Mr. Jimenez, Mayor Jimenez's son was not involved in this deal whatsoever. Mayor Jimenez's son, in previous opinions that we've given him, does not lobby the county. So there's no indication that the mayor's son was involved in this deal at all. He's involved in
Lobby.
he was involved in some things going on in Doral.
Okay. Doral being a city in the county.
Right, but he would have to separately register with the city of Doral, not with Miami-Dade County officials.
Lobby at all in our county. Okay. Any questions from my fellow commissioners?
Did you ask Mayor Jimenez if he and his son had ever talked about it casually or otherwise?
Supper.
I don't recall if I ever asked him that.
Family question.
Any other questions?
No.